Vamos.
Go.
Buenos, bienvenidos a nuestros auditores y a nuestros veedores a nuestra tercera entrega de este podcast o podcast llamado Proyectos Fallidos. Ya con esta tercera entrega superamos al señor Ramírez, así que muy bien. Hoy día mi hermano Rambo, ¿cierto? Se encuentra detrás de cámaras, va a estar ahí ayudándonos. Así que, bueno, el día de hoy este programa va a ser especial porque tenemos a una invitada internacional. Así que he decidido tomar el desafío de hacerlo en inglés. Así que nada, voy a dar mi mejor esfuerzo y espero que disfruten de la invitada y su experiencia, ¿cierto?, a nivel internacional. So, with you, we have here, straight from the Great Britain Island, out of London, England, with you, the one and only, Louise, Brownsey, a.k.a. Luisa.
Woo! Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I've been wanting to come to this house for so long, so I'm really excited to be here with all of you guys.
Oh, that's great. Great to hear. So, Louise, if you can tell us something about yourself, introduce yourself maybe, or something that you want to share with us.
Yeah, so I'm Louise, or Luisa, because I'm my Latino name.
Yeah.
And I'm 24 years old. I am a trampolinist, newly becoming a trampool artist.
Oh,
We're
great.
trying.
Yeah, transitioning.
Yeah, Rambo's going to teach me some good things.
Rambo Sensei.
Yeah, Rambo is the father, and he will teach me all the things. And I've been training Wool for like around a year now, so we're like, getting there. And yeah, I don't know what else there is to say.
Can you tell us something of your experience, like starting as a trampoline? How did you get there?
Yeah, okay, so I didn't go to school when I was a kid.
That's the kids' dreams.
Yeah, it was great. My parents taught me. I did do a lot of school, but at home.
Great.
And because of that, I didn't have like a ready-made friendship group at school.
Oh, yeah.
So I did loads of different sports and activities, basically to have friends.
Yeah.
It's important.
Excuse.
Yeah. One of which was trampolining. And I started at the local leisure centre just with some other homeschool children, just, once a week, and did some trampolining. And then the coach there said, do you want to join the club? So I thought, okay, I was 6, why not? That sounds fun. And
this is in London?
It's like 20 miles from London, like close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was really close to where I live, which is just outside of London, but more or less. And so I joined the club, and that weekend there was a competition, and it was a synchronized competition where you have 2 people going at the same time.
Great.
And one of the other girls, her partner had dropped out, so she didn't have a partner, and she was the same age as me. So I'd only been at the club for 1 week. But they said to me, "Oh, Louise, do you want to do this competition this weekend?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not? This sounds fun." I just say yes to everything. I'm always excited to try new things. So I was like, yeah, fun. So somebody gave me their leotard, and I tried, and we won the competition.
Oh, that's great.
So then I thought, maybe I should keep doing this. Yeah. This is fun. And synchro is still my favorite.
Great.
I've done all sorts of fun things with synchro, and also with individual, but synchro is more fun, so I like it.
That's great. And tell me about like your parents like supporting you. What were their thoughts about this?
Yeah, no, so they were amazing. Like they always, like, education had to come first. Like that was really important for my parents, and I have a degree in mathematics, like so I have that as well.
A smart person.
But it was always a case of like, because we were at home, we could do things more efficiently, and so it was like, okay, we did all of our schoolwork in the mornings, and they would give us a certain amount of work we had to do, and like as long as I got that done, I could train as much as I wanted the rest of the day.
Great.
So then I was very productive and would work really hard so I could train more because it was more fun.
Yeah.
So I would go to training and have private lessons and be at training like all afternoon and all evening, and allowed me to be able to become like good at trampolining. I wasn't naturally that good. I just like had a good work ethic, and my parents allowed me to spend the time. So I was very lucky.
Great. Consistency is the key then.
Yeah, hard work and consistency is like 100% the key.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great to hear. Louise, so during this trampoline background, did you ever wonder like you were gonna finish like an artist, working as an artist, or?
Well, kind of. Like, I went to see a Cirque du Soleil show when I was maybe 6 or 7. I think it was OVO. I don't 100% know, but I remember there being bugs, and I think the only one that has bugs is OVO. So I think it must have been OVO.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the trampolining in it and thinking, that looks really fun. Like, I want to do that. So I had that like little bug in my brain from then. And then I just competed trampolining, and I competed from age 6 to 23. So I did a lot of competition, and my dream with that was like, you know, to represent my country and like, you know, try and win world medals and stuff, which I did all of that, and that was really cool. And then when I was, I think 18, I went to see another Cirque du Soleil show in the Royal Albert Hall in London, which is like the most beautiful theatre ever, and all the touring shows come there, and it's gorgeous. And I went to see Louise, which is still my favourite Cirque show I've ever seen, and the energy in that show is incredible. Like, nothing has ever beaten it for me. I like watching that show. I had like the cheapest seats you could get because it's expensive, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like right at the back of that hall, and it's a big theatre, but I could still feel the energy from the people on stage, and that was so magical for me. And like in that moment, I was like, no, I have to do this. Like at some point, I have to be part of something like this, and I just wanted to be a part of it. And then, I was still competing for a few more years after that. And I'd spoken, one of our Great Britain national team coaches, he was actually from my club originally, and he went to the Olympics, and then he went to Cirque, and he was in MJ and I think in OVO, and was a coach in Curios. So he's been around a bit. And I was speaking to him about it and saying, you know, I think I want to do some performing, like, and I wanted to have a break from competition. I was doing a lot of competing and taking it very seriously, and it was great, but it's a lot, and sometimes it's not always super fun.
It's hard.
It's hard, and I was in a bit of a period where I was thinking, I think I just need a break. You know, I need to just go and have fun with it for a bit and like get my love back. And he knew our casting director from Disney, Julian, because they'd worked together in Cirque before.
Oh, great.
And so my coach Gary said, well, there's this opportunity, like, maybe just put your name down and just see if, you know, you don't have to say yes, see what, go to the audition, you know. Try, yeah. And I went to the audition, and I had the most fun day ever. And I was like, this sounds great. And then I got the job, and I had to think really hard about it, because it was, you know, the year of the Olympics in 2024, and in Great Britain, in the Olympics, you can only have maximum of 2 people from each country. And I was ranked 3rd in Great Britain.
Ooh.
So I was not planning on going, but I would have been the reserve, and like I, you know, would have traveled and got the kit, and like, you know, if somebody had injured themselves, I potentially would have been in the Olympics. So it was a big thing to let go of. But I thought, actually, like, no, I need this break. I need to do something different, and I don't really want to wait around just to be a reserve for the Olympics.
Great.
So I thought, screw it, let's go.
Now's the time.
And I took the opportunity, and then I had so much fun. And I was like, okay, why have I not done this sooner? Like, what was I doing? And so now I never want to go back, and I want to keep performing forever.
So before we go to full artist life, maybe we can go a little bit more deep into the athlete life that you had. So if you can tell us something, maybe like which countries did you visit, like how much time did you represent?
Yeah, so from the ages of 6 to 13, I just did like little bits with my club, and you know, I wasn't that good at trampolining. And then I started getting a little bit better and started being part of the like junior trampoline program within Great Britain.
Great.
Like for the national team when I was about 14. And then I started traveling to international competitions, and like I went to Prague in the Czech Republic with my club. That was a cute little international that I did, which was really fun. That was my first ones. And I've been to Portugal lots of times for some competitions there. My first competition with Great Britain was actually in Portugal.
Great.
And I came 3rd, which was really exciting.
Yeah.
And
first time representing 3rd place. That's great.
It was really, really cool. And I had so much fun. And then I traveled more. I been to Italy. I went to Russia.
Russia.
That was quite cool. That was Junior World Championships in 2018.
Which part of Russia did you visit?
St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Great.
And we didn't get much of a chance to like explore, which is the downside. I've traveled to a lot of places, but I haven't really explored any of the places.
You have to stay on the hotel, gym hotel.
But we had one afternoon in St. Petersburg and it was pouring with rain. It was so cold and such a miserable day. And most of the kids were like, no, we're not going out in this. But I was like, I'm probably never going to come back to St. Petersburg, so I've got to take this opportunity.
It's now or never.
Yeah, and we did go out and it was really amazing. Like
Great.
The underground stations are like the most beautiful places that are like covered in gold. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. With the guys, we've been at Russia like 2016. We went to Moscow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we have some friends there. Jump Energy and
nice.
How is the name of the other guys? The other chico? Hooligans. Привет, мои друзья. So yeah, we went also to the subway and it was like way deeper. I don't know if it's in St. Petersburg it's the same, but
really deep.
Yeah, so deep, minutes on the mechanical stairs going down, like that's. Yeah,
it was crazy. It was a crazy experience, but really cool. And that competition was great because I won it. So
great.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And so I was junior world champion, which was pretty awesome. And from that was kind of when my life changed with it. I think before that, there was never really much expectation for me. Like I just did it because I had fun doing it. And the GB coaches were like, oh, she's okay. Like we'll, take her, I guess, but like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I won junior world championships and everyone was like, oh, this girl can do some trampolining. Okay.
Which year was this?
That was 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was 18. And
you're from the 2000s.
Yeah, I'm a 2000s baby.
That's right. I'm 92, so it's hard when somebody tells you, "Oh, I'm 2000," and now it's all
everyone
grown-up
freaks
people.
out when they say I'm from 2000. They're like, "Oh, what? Oh my god!"
Like this.
Yeah. Makes it easier for the maths.
Yeah, easier for the maths. Yeah.
But yeah, and then everything changed and I became a funded athlete. And in Great Britain, like you don't get much, but it's like enough to sort of cover training costs. And we had physios and strength conditioning coaches and all, which was really helpful. So it wasn't so much about the money, but more about the like extra support that we got.
Yeah.
Which made a really, really big difference. And we're lucky in Great Britain, they have like lottery funding. So it's all like people play the lottery and then the money from that goes to
the sports. And supports. That's so great.
It's really good. And it's a good program they've got in place. And the support we got was amazing. But then the downside of that is once you're a funded athlete, like your whole life is controlled by them.
Oh, yeah. You have to like, I don't know how to say it, but you have to make the money worth.
Yeah, you have to make it worth their money because they're paying you and they're supporting you, so you have to then follow everything, and it's very strict, which in some ways is really good, and like I improved a lot, but in some ways it puts a lot of pressure on and it takes the fun out of it a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you like, okay, so from a physical point of view, it is already hard, but how about the mental side of it?
The mental side is the hardest part, 100%. Like the physical side is fine, but it's hard, but I've always enjoyed like working hard and pushing my body.
Take it.
So like that for me was okay. The mental side of things was really difficult, and some of the people, like some of the coaches, are not necessarily nice.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a restructuring going on in British gymnastics at the moment, so I'm hopeful that it will improve.
Okay.
But when I was there, it wasn't always the best. And ultimately, like that was kind of the reason why I needed a break in the end and had to leave, which is a shame. I think. Yeah, it's really sad. A lot of people quit for sad reasons, and they lost a lot of talent because of it.
Yeah, but maybe I know that you say like it is hard, but sometimes like value yourself, like your mental health. I think it's like the important stuff if you want to like really make something out of it, like.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I had a few years like from sort of the ages of 18, 19 to 23, like when I was funded and a bit more in it, I kind of forgot that. And I think it's easy to get carried away in just thinking you have to push yourself 100% all the time, and that's the expectation. And if you're not doing that, it's sort of frowned upon, and and sometimes with that, like, it becomes a bit of a spiral if you keep pushing yourself, and then the coaches are saying, oh, you're not good enough, and you start to believe you're not good enough, and then you get worse because actually you then don't believe you're any good. And I found that I sort of hit a bottom in 2022 of I was trying to do a new routine, and I had like added in, so I had 2 triples in my routine.
That's hard. 2 triples. That's
it is hard.
Way hard.
Like, so
how many jumps do you have to do? Like 10?
So 10? You do 10 moves. They all have to be different. And so I had 2 triples and 8 doubles in my routine. So it's a lot of somersaults.
Yeah.
And it was hard, but I could do it, and like it was fine. But the Great Britain coaches kept being like, are you sure you're good enough to do that? And I'm like,
oh,
yeah, I think so. Like, I think I can do it. And then it wouldn't go right in training, and they're like, I don't think you're good enough.
Oh my God.
And I'd be like, no, I know I can do this routine. Like, I've been training it, and I know I can do it back home. Like, it's fine. But then I would go to the training camps, and I would get in my own head about it, and then it wouldn't be good. And then they would tell me it's not good. And then by the time I got to the competition, because we spend pretty much a whole month training with the national team before each major competition. So it's a lot of time away from home, and my personal coach at home is like really good with the mental stuff. Like, he's amazing.
Great.
So he holds me together.
Yeah.
But when I was away for a month without that support so much,
it was hard to.
It was really hard, and I ended up going to the competition, and it was so bad. Like, I did not do good at all. And that was a turning point for me of like, okay, if I let the negativity around me like into me, then like I can't perform, you know. And I didn't believe that I was able to do my routine, even though I had done it months before perfectly fine. And I didn't believe it, so I couldn't do it, you know. And it was all in my head, because physically I could do the routine fine. But in my head it was just a mess, and that was a big turning point for me of like, no, I need to not let this happen anymore. And then it got better, and like the end of 2022 and 2023 was better, and I was able to like focus more on myself and not let other people's opinions get to me so much. But it's really hard.
Yeah, it's hard because there is a lot of pressure, like you said before, not only like your self accomplishment, but also like money from government, maybe your parents also, or the same coach like on top of you telling that you can do it. Yeah, it must be very hard to deal with it, but you did it.
It's really hard. But yeah, I got to a point, I'm very, like, I think that's the thing I'm probably most proud of actually, is that I was able to get past that and like get to a point where in like end of 2022 and in 2023 I was able to perform like how I knew I could perform and hit my targets and
the prime.
Yeah, and it went, you know, in 2022 it went from at European Championships doing like so bad. I fell off the trampoline in my straight jumping so badly that my socks came off, and I was sat on the trampoline at European Championships putting my socks back on. Oh my God, like the most embarrassing moment of my life. So awful, so embarrassing. And that was just in the straight jumping. So then I still had to get back up and do my routine after that because I hadn't started yet. Oh my
With
God.
the triples on it.
With the triples in it, like, oh my God, disaster. And then by the end of the year, I went to World Championships and I came 16th. So it was great, and we came second in the team, and like with my 2 friends, and like it was great, and I hit all my targets. So like in those sort of 6 months, I like, you know, made a comeback, and that was a really important moment for me, and mentally like being resilient and like coming back through that was big.
That's so great to hear. So Rambo told me that you have one of your closest friend was now on the Olympics on 2024.
Yes.
And how can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, so this is Brownsey. She's incredible. In fact, like the 2 girls that I won the silver medal with in 2022, Brownsey and Izzy, both of them went to the Olympics. Great. And we've been a team since 2021, just the 3 of us. Like, and we're really close, and they're both incredible people, and amazing athletes too. And like they work so hard. And Brownsey actually now has 3 Olympic medals.
Oh, that's...
So she's crazy.
Yeah.
She came second in Rio in 2016, and then third in Tokyo in 2021, and now came first in Paris in 2024. And she's amazing. She, like, I have, you know, when I was younger and she won her first Olympic medal, I was only 16 and I didn't really know her, and I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. And I was such a fan. She's 10 years older than me, so you know, I looked up to her.
Yeah.
And actually, it's funny because on my like athlete profile on like FIG, it's the Fédération Internationale Gymnastique. It's French, I think. And it's like the governing body of like the world trampolining stuff.
Yep.
And we like each athlete has a profile.
Great.
And on your profile it says like, who are your idols? And mine was Brownie Page. And I didn't remember that it was on there.
Does she know? Does she know?
Well, so at World Championships 2021, we were actually doing synchro together.
Oh, great.
And by this point, we were really good friends. And we are like literally the same person. She's just 10 years older than me. We have like the exact same sense of humor and we get along so well. So by this point, we were really good friends. And we were having physio together. And for some reason, somebody was looking up the athlete profiles. And our physio found it, that my athlete profile said that my idol was Brownie, and we had a big laugh about it. It was really funny. But she is, and still to this day, like she's a really good friend, but she is also an idol, and I see the effort and the hard work she puts into it, and her whole life is dedicated to trampolining, and she's like so incredible. She works so hard, and it's really inspiring to
That's great to
see the behind the scenes of how it works and
how she performs and the results. Yeah. So and have somebody like that close to you that is that hard worker is such an inspiration.
It really is. And getting to train with her is amazing and
great.
So much fun. Like we always have a lot of fun together. We put on music and we laugh and we dance great. And like we have a good time.
Nice.
We work hard too. So it's good.
So Luisa, tell us about something like we were talking earlier, but we didn't want to talk too much because we wanted to make this like flow like naturally. So you were telling me that you had an injury on your back. Can you tell us that story? It was
so it was actually pretty much exactly 8 years ago. It was beginning of 2017. And I was at a competition and I was just straight jumping. And for some reason I pinged sideways and I landed on my bum on the metal frame of the trampoline from, I don't know, like 6-7 meters, however high I jump. I was hard. Like full height jumping. And it really hurt, obviously. But because it was at a competition in trampolining, you have 1 minute to start. If you take longer than that, you get time deductions, so you get like penalties. But whatever happens in that minute before you do your first skill doesn't matter. And I hadn't done my first skill, so in my head I was just thinking, I don't want to get time deductions. Like I've got to get up and go. So I got back up. I started jumping and I remember thinking in my head, like my back literally just felt like it was snapping in half, like it hurt so bad. And in retrospect, it kind of was, but I didn't know that. So I just got on and competed. I actually won the competition, which was crazy. But there we go. And after I finished, I went to the physio and I, started explaining what happened. And she's like, I saw what you did. Get on the bed right now. I'm like, okay. Because everyone had seen it. It was quite dramatic. And she checked my coccyx, like right down the bottom of my spine. And that bit wasn't broken. So then she said, I think like it's fine. It's just bruised. And I was like, cool, we're good. But it was a little bit higher than that I'd broken and nobody checked any further up. And I mean, you understand, you're an athlete, but like things always hurt, right?
It always hurt.
Something's always hurting, and I had problems with my shins at the time. I had shin splints, and like
that hurt.
That hurts a lot.
Annoying.
And when you're jumping, you're putting a lot of pressure on that, so like that hurt just as much. So I was like, I'm sure my back's fine then. Like if it hurts a similar amount, like the doctors told me these are fine, so surely my back's fine too. And
One more pain, whatever.
Like I'll just ignore it. So I had a week off and then got back to training and was whatever and trained for 2.5 years without realizing that I had broken it. Which is crazy. Crazy. Yeah. And then I was training and I broke a spring and pinged sideways and landed like a little bit awkwardly. And then like got up and tried to jump and then it like really hurt. Like I had this massive pain through my back and I was like, oh my god, this is really not good. And I laid down and then I was like, I don't think I can stand back up again. Like I could like barely move and was just in so much pain. And I rang my physio and I'm like, Lily, I can't move. What do I do?
Fix me.
And like I couldn't drive home and it was a disaster. And then they thought, you've probably like pulled a muscle, so have 2 weeks off. So I was like, okay. I had 2 weeks off. we had British Championships 3 weeks later, and I had to do British Championships because it was qualifications for World Championships.
It was important.
It was important. So I was like, okay, I had 2 weeks off. I had 2 days of training on like the most painkillers, like the most possible medicine that I could have.
Well,
like
this is like the bad side of the elite training.
Yeah, it's really not healthy.
Yeah,
actually,
it's not healthy.
No, and it's like looking back, it's just like, you know, you shouldn't put your body through that. But at the time, like, you don't think twice.
You don't care. You just want to
you just go for it. And like at that competition, I was in so much pain. Like standing up was hurting, but I competed. It's stupid.
With 2 triples.
Yeah, I did make my routine a little bit easier for that one. Like, I just had to like hit the bare minimum score, but like, it was a disaster. And at that competition, I saw my physio, and she was like, "Yeah, this isn't good, is it? Like, you're in a lot of pain." And I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "Maybe you've got some like soft tissue damage. You've like got torn a tendon or ligament or something. Have 2 more weeks off." So I was like, "Okay." So I had 2 more weeks off. It wasn't any better. So they thought, okay, maybe you need a scan. So I went and had an MRI scan.
When you injured, do they take care of the, like they pay everything for you? Or?
Yes. So this is one of the best things about being a funded athlete. And at this point I was a funded athlete. So this was 2019. And so I was on the funding program, and we had private healthcare, and it was really, really good. So in England, you can get healthcare for free, but it takes a long time. So like if you need a scan, you might have to wait 2 months.
Like here.
Yeah, and it, you know, like it's okay, and for normal people, you know, you can wait and it's okay. But for me, like being an athlete, you
have to perform. So
you have to perform. You don't have the time to wait. So they had us on a private healthcare program, and it was so good. Like the day they decided they wanted me to have a scan, the next day I had a scan, and the next day I had the results. You know, like instant.
Yeah.
And I walked into the physio room with the results, and they were like, "So when did you break your back?" I was
like 2 years ago. Yeah.
Sorry, what? Like I had no clue, and I was like, "What did you just say to me? Like what?" Okay, and they were like, "Well, it's healed now, but like it's healed in the wrong place, and it looks like maybe a couple of years ago." And I'm like, "What happened a couple of years ago?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I hurt my back really badly 2 years ago. Yeah, that would be it." So that was when I broke it. And basically it's like the vertebra, and then like the little bit that sticks out the back of the vertebra, it was that bit. And I think what happened is like when I landed, they sort of smashed together, and instead of the bone being like this, it's like this.
Oh.
So it's like kind of in the wrong place, but it's healed in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And it was like too dangerous to try and go back in and fix it. So it's still in the wrong place. But now it's okay. And I had, I tried to get back for World Championships, and like we tried to sort of have maintenance physio. But it ended up I was at a training camp, and I just leant down to pick up my training book, and like my back went completely, and like my physio had to help me like take my socks off. Like I couldn't move. I had to like crawl to the other room because I couldn't stand up. It was so bad. And so they were like, "I think you need to pull out of Worlds," which was really sad, but it was the right decision. And then I had 3 months where I basically did absolutely nothing. I was allowed to walk for 10 minutes a day.
Oh, that's hard.
Really hard. Mentally, really hard. Because I went from training like 4 or 5 hours every day to
just walk 10 minutes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I could only stretch laying flat on my back. I couldn't do any other stretching because it would pull. Like, it was awful. And I had electric acupuncture in my back to try and like
loosen up the muscles, maybe.
Yeah, and like get the muscles working, because where the muscles were supposed to attach to the bone, like because the bone wasn't there anymore, like the muscles had disintegrated and like they didn't exist anymore.
Damn.
So I had a lot of work on that and learning how to use my deep core. Because I think like as a gymnast, often we use like the front, but like the main core muscles, and we forget about the deep core, like the supportive little muscles. And we do like big, heavy core exercises, but that uses the big muscles and not the little ones. So I did a lot of training on the tiny, tiny exercises, which look like you're doing nothing and are really hard to learn how to use my deep core. And like, now like that's really strong and that can stabilize my back, so like it's fine. And you know, it's always going to be something that I have to be mindful of, but it's not something that stops me doing anything anymore. Like, it's okay. I had about a year off, and then I was like back to training, and it was okay. But yeah, it was hard.
Yeah, it sounds hard, and Well, it's great to we're back and now just conditioning and be aware of the movements, and you can still enjoy and jump and do your stuff.
Yeah, and I can still do everything. It doesn't stop me. Pretty much the only thing is like my back flexibility isn't very good anymore, but in trampolining you don't need that, so it's okay. So I'm never going to be a contortionist, but that's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay. And yeah, so I just have to be mindful and take care of it now.
Great. So, Louise, now from when you finished your athlete life and started transitioning to an artist, how was this transition? How did you feel in it?
Yeah, so I finished competing at the end of 2023.
Yeah.
And then went to Paris with Rambo
in
February 2024.
That was your first gig?
That was my first contract ever. Yeah. And
how did you get there? How did you get to know there is a gig here in Paris, they're looking for trampoliners?
Yeah, it was just through that coach that I had.
I remember.
Yeah, Gary, and it was just through him really. I would never have found it otherwise. I was aware of Cirque du Soleil, obviously, because everyone knows Cirque du Soleil.
Everybody knows it. Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't really have any idea about the filming world. So I didn't. Yeah, I wouldn't have even thought about Disney. And so it was just lucky that Gary had worked with our casting director for Disney, really, that I came across that opportunity. And it completely changed my life. And I mentally was not in a very good place at all. And I didn't really have much belief in myself as a person or as an athlete. And going to Disney and Rambo knows we had an amazing family, you know, and the team we had was really special. Great. And our coaches were incredible and all the people were incredible, and it completely changed my life, honestly.
Yeah, very meaningful people.
Really, really meaningful. I have my little Momrath tattoo. And 4 of us girls all got matching ones on our ankles. So
that's great. Cute. That's cute.
The people, honestly, were just incredible, and they helped rebuild me, and I found myself again, and I found the passion for trampolining, and I started learning tramp wall, and just the whole family is incredible. I miss them all so much. I went back to Paris because I live 6-hour drive from Paris, so it's easy for me. I went back to Paris a few weeks ago when everyone came back for the start of season 2. So they're just starting again now. And I got to see everyone, which was amazing.
Oh, that's great.
And then last week I was in Brazil with Versuch, and now I'm here with Rambo.
Yay,
so
Chile.
All my family being reunited.
That's great. Yeah, those friends from contract, they become very meaningful.
Really, really meaningful. And I think a lot of us, it was our first contract. I think maybe 30-40% of the team, it was our first contract. And it was a creation, and so everything was new, and so I think that helped us be even closer. Yeah. And those people are my family now, and they're amazing, and
Well, Rambo has a special gift for you, if you can throw it up to me, or...
Oh my gosh!
Yay!
I love it.
So,
I love it.
Can you tell us what it is?
So, this was our hat pieces. The hats we had at Disney were awful.
Yeah, I can see. Failed project.
It was a failed project. Oh my gosh. They've got new ones for season 2. I've heard from the people there, they're a lot better. For people, if you can see this, these are really thick. Yeah. They're really heavy felt kind of material.
They hit you in the face and in the eyes.
They hit you in the face. They hit you everywhere. They're really heavy. There was so many of them. And the hats were so bad. And they would move. I had one that was so small that it would give me a headache so that it didn't move. Oh. And then I was like, what am I doing? This is awful. And I went up a size, but then it would move, so I couldn't do doubles because it would come off. It was supposed to be here and it would end up here if I did doubles. It was awful. So our solution to this was to cut pieces of the hat off.
And what they told you? You were allowed to cut them?
No. No, we were not. But we expressed our concerns about our health because all of us had problems with our necks because we were getting whiplash, and it's actually quite dangerous.
Yeah.
And especially for the guys doing wool, it was even worse. I didn't do wool in the show really, so like for me it wasn't as bad, and I just stopped doing doubles. Like we were supposed to do doubles forwards, but the throwing yourself forwards, it was too fast, and so I just stopped doing them. And I was like, if you can't provide me with something that's suitable, I'm going to do easier things because I'm not going to risk my health.
Yeah. That's important.
It's important. But for the wool guys, you can't, like, you're landing on your back all the time and you're having this. And wool's hard on your neck anyway, let alone with something really heavy on your head. So, we weren't allowed to cut the pieces out, but we did. And Rambo, the amazing person that he is, made us little prizes. The little Romrath Awards. So at the end of the season, we had like a Google sheet, and we had to vote on who was like the most whatever, and we had like the most hardworking, which was the one that I got, and like like the most funny, the best fail, like all the silly things. And Maria, one of our friends, got a special award because she has a trick named after her. We have the Maria trick. Which is, I think is a flare, I think it's supposed to be called. I don't even know. I didn't know it had another name the whole season. And I went to the United States after the season was done, and somebody did one. I was like, oh, the Maria trick. And they're like,
it's worldwide.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, other people can do this. And they're like, you call it what? And I'm like, well, Maria's really good at it, so we call it the Maria trick, So we all had little awards, and they were made out of these pieces, and we had little people with googly eyes and then different coloured hair on top. And I have mine in my room at home. It's amazing. So yeah, we cut out pieces of hat, but they have new ones for season 2. So the people there now are okay. But for us, this is a good memory.
So from the technical point of view, transitioning into a technique like a trampoline into tramp wall, like, can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, it's been really interesting for me. I last year I spent pretty much every second that I possibly could on the wall. I would come into work early, normally with Lucia, one of our friends from Argentina. We would come in early every day, and we would train for 45 minutes before work start, like before we had to be doing stuff at work, and then I would like have a 20-minute break for lunch, and then like get back on and train. And so I've put a lot of work into it, but the thing that was hard for me is like understanding how to use the wall, because like the flips and the tricks for me, like it's the same as trampolining, I know how to do them, so that's fine. But the timing of the trampoline and the timing of like how to use the wall, and sometimes you have to get your face really close to the wall. And that's really scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
Like when I started learning dives, I remember our coach Josh, he used to say, Lou, lick the wall. I'm like, I don't want to lick the wall. He's like, lick the wall. Oh my God. And I would be like trying to get my face as far away from the wall as I could.
I'm not licking it.
I don't want to lick it. And I just was convinced I'd headbutt the wall. I never headbutted the wall. I was fine, always. But it's scary.
Yeah.
And so that was a new experience for me. And I'm still getting over that a little bit. Like I find sometimes things like the corner is quite a scary place of the wall, and I don't want to hit it with any part of my body, and sometimes I feel like I'm a bit close and I don't like it. But we're getting there, and I'm starting to understand the takeoffs now, and like the dive I feel like is the basic for, and it took me months, but now that I've got the feeling of the takeoff and how to use the wall for a dive, then like brownies and 1 and 3s and everything just like kind of happened because it's the same. So now I've got that basic stuff down a little bit more. Like the tricks are coming a lot easier now.
Great.
Which is exciting.
But
I'm still
figuring out.
Still figuring it out. And in trampolining, all of my skills were from my feet.
So
I never really did stuff from my front or my back. And I did when I was a little kid, but like not big skills. And so that's been something that I'm still trying to figure out, is like how to create more power out of my back rather than off my feet. We're getting there. Sometimes I do some feet skills in trample, which freaks everyone out, but I like it because I'm like, I can use my feet. This is perfect.
Specialty.
And I'm like, this is easy for me because I'm a trampolinist, and everyone's like, you don't want to land on your feet. I'm like, no, I do, I promise.
That's great. So, Louise, Rambo told me that you competed at Ninja Warrior.
I did.
That's everybody's dream, I think.
It was so random. So basically, it was 2022.
Yeah.
And I got this message off some random guy on Instagram being like, hey, I'm a casting director for Ninja Warrior. We want to try and get some like high level sports people in to like sort of boost the profile of the show or something. And I was like, what? And I was like, this is probably some scam, right? Like, and I ignored it for like 2 weeks. I was like, that's not real. And then I was like, well, let me just have another look at this. And I looked at the guy and I like stalked his profile a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, he actually is
It's
the
real,
casting director from Ninja Warrior. Okay. So I replied. And then like I went to the like audition day thing and we had to do some basically conditioning tests just to like, you know, see if we had some basic level of strength and agility.
Fitness, yeah.
And so that was really cool. And then I got to go to Ninja Warrior. And it was only about 2 weeks after European Championships, so I didn't really have much time to train.
Yeah.
Because obviously the trampolining had to come first.
Yeah.
But then as soon as the competition was done, there's one centre in England, like 2 or 3 hours drive from where I live, where they have full-size Ninja Warrior obstacles.
Oh, the obstacles, great.
So I went there twice, 2 or 3 times, I think, before I did the show. And it was so much fun. It's really hard.
Yeah, it must be.
But really, really fun. I had a great time and all the people were so lovely and so helpful.
Great.
And then when I got to the show, we were... Oh, that's my phone.
The cell phone, it's ringing.
Let me just turn that off. Sorry about that. And where did I get to? Yeah, when I got to the show.
Yeah. Obstacles.
Yeah, obstacles. And it was like a paired format, so we were racing against people.
Yeah.
And we were just like randomly pulled against different other girls who had been like picked for the show. And the person that I got picked to go against was the person that owned the centre where we trained, and she was coaching me the week before. And I was like, no! Like, she was so good. And she was lovely. We're good friends, but we had a lot of fun, and it was a really good day. But she beat me, obviously. But we did actually fall off on the same obstacle, so I was happy. Like I got to the 5th obstacle out of 6, and she fell on the same one, but she got further on it than I did, so she won. But it was really cool, and not many girls got that far. So like I was proud of how I did. But the most thing, it was just like such a fun day. Like, everyone was so supportive of everyone else, and even though we were competitors, like we were all cheering for everyone, and like it was so much fun.
Everybody's supporting everybody. That's
really supportive, and I would like to do it again, I think. At some point they said if I wanted to go back and do it another year, I could do, and I was like, I think I would like to do that, like, and if I have a chance, we'll try again.
Ninja Warrior Chile.
Yeah.
Great.
Have you ever tried any of the obstacle kind of things?
There is a gym here. There is a trampoline park, nice. Which is called Jumper. They have something similar to some obstacles, and it's hard. It's hard. You need a lot of grip strength, a lot of upper body strength. Mm-hmm. But I haven't tried like the real ones.
Yeah.
Like, that must be even harder.
They're so big. Like, I got there, and like you don't get to try the course before you have to do it on the show.
You have to do it at once.
Yeah, you just have to go for it. And I was stood there about to jump, being like, I don't know if I can jump that far. Like, that's really far away, and like the obstacles are so huge. But it was cool.
That's great. Yeah. So you tried. You were on a competition.
Yes, for trample.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw it here on Rambo. He set up a TV. A lot of friend came. They brought watermelons and stuff. So we were eating and watching, and everybody was like, "Yeah!" So they were cheering for you.
It was so fun. Oh my God, it was such an amazing day. Jake Kinga ran the trample competition. He did an incredible job. Like, the whole setup was amazing. We had training the day before, which for the guys was like kind of like a prelims round, because only 10 people got to compete in each group.
Okay.
But for the girls, there was only 5 of us. So for us, it was just fun training, and we had a good time. And yeah, it was a weird one for me, because obviously I've done a lot of competing in my life. Yeah. So like,
this one was different, huh?
Yeah, but all the competition I've done before, I've like, trained my whole life to do that, and I've had training things of like, we used to have 6-week plans, like of how many routines I would do, and it was very structured.
Yeah.
And going into this, I was like, I hadn't trained in 2 months because there's nowhere in England really to train trampoline at all. So I hadn't been on a trampoline in 2 months. And I went to Las Vegas a couple of weeks, like a week and a half, I think, before the competition so that I could do a bit of training.
Yeah, Vegas Circuit Center?
Yes. So I was training at Vegas Circus Center, and I had some friends there that were helping me. But I went and I didn't even have any idea of what skills were even going to be in my run.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I know I want a dive to be in it because I like dives and like I can do them kind of nicely. So I want that to be in it. Maybe I can try a Barani. I had done like Barani pullover to the top like twice ever before.
Okay.
So I was like, maybe I could have a Barani in it somewhere. And I was like, maybe a walking back to feet because I had done that one time at like Disney like 6 months before. But I was like, I think I could do that if I trained it. And I think nobody else does that because nobody normally does stuff to feet. So I was like, maybe that'd be different. And that was kind of all I had, the only idea I had. So I was like, okay. And then I got there and I was like, okay, I need it to be 30 seconds. That's 3 skills. That's not 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And then Wellington, who's like OG master of trampoline.
Yeah, the Brazilian guy.
Yeah, Brazilian guy. He came into Circus Center and he taught me the handstand dive in thing that I did at the beginning of my run. And he was like, oh, I'll teach you this thing. I think like it'll be easy for you and you'll be fine. And I did that. And then I was like, okay, maybe I can start my run with this. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I figured some things out. And then I managed to get the Barani, and I had the handstand dive in, the walking back, a dive, and a Barani, and I timed it, and it was about 15 seconds. And I was like, I need another 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my God, okay.
Where are my 10 jumps?
Yeah,
Where are they?
I know. And I'm like, I don't have 10 more. I don't have any other skills. So Chase Webster was there, and he was training with me, and he's incredible guy. And I was like, Chase, I think I need some more skills. Can you help me out? And he was like, okay, what about a corner dive? So I was like, okay, I guess I could try. So I learned corner dive.
Great.
This is like 3 days before the competition. Like, so I learned corner dive.
This was your most freestyle friendly competition ever.
Ever, yeah. And then he was like, okay, well, your dives are pretty good. Like, can you dive ball out? And I was like, well, I tried it one time, like 4 months ago. Maybe I could try. So I tried that, and then that kind of worked. So it was a bit scary, but I was like, just commit. So like 2 days before, I'm like, okay, have a run. And then I trained like for like 3 hours for like the next couple of days, and I just did like so many runs, and I just practiced that run. And so then it was like, okay, I've got my run. And then I was thinking, like, how do I approach this? Because this is very much like a more fun freestyle event. But the only way I know how to compete is to be like focused and be serious. Yeah. And I figured that now I had my run, I was like, I'm going to treat this like it's a routine, like I do for my normal competitions. And I'm going to approach this like seriously and, you know, do everything like I did for my competitions. So like in the morning I got up and I did my like competition hair and my competition makeup and everything like I would for competitions normally. Yeah. And that helps me like feel like I'm ready to compete, like in my zone, you know. And then I went in and I did my warm-ups and then I had like my visualizations and everything, which may be a little bit excessive for a trampoline competition that's like a bit of fun.
Friendly.
I don't think anyone else was doing that. I think everyone else was just vibing and having a good time.
Yeah.
But I'm very competitive, and so I was like, right, this is how I do it. And it worked really well. And then like I also had so much fun. Like it was super chill and, you know, relaxed. Yeah. But I also approached it with my like competitive mindset, and I think that helped. And then I won it. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, represent. Yeah. That's great.
So so that it was a crazy day. So much fun. All the people there were amazing.
Yeah. I saw some Japanese guys. They
so good.
So good. Touching the ceiling.
Literally touching the ceiling.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And actually, one of them's going to be working with us soon.
Oh, great.
So that's exciting.
That's nice.
So it'll be nice to get to know him a bit better. And yeah, like they were amazing. Everyone was so cool. And before that, I hadn't met that many people in the trampoline world, like unless they were at Disney or they had been in Las Vegas like that little bit before. Yeah. Like I didn't know them. So I met pretty much the whole trampoline community, at least of the North America version, which is a big part of it.
Yeah, it's the biggest one.
And I met so many people, which was really cool. And we all got to train together. Like the day after the competition, I think there must have been 40 people on the wall in the Circus Center in Las Vegas. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
We had a massive jam session. I learned like 3 new things. Like, it was great. We had a really fun time and it was really cool.
Oh, that's nice to hear. So now you already came to Chile. What's coming for you in the future?
Wow.
Can we tell? Can we tell them? Is it secret or can we tell? ¿Se puede decir o no, Rambo? Yeah. See?
I think we're allowed to say.
Are we allowed to say?
I haven't said it to anyone. When's this podcast coming out?
I don't know. Are we breaking the rules now?
Are we allowed to say? I think we can say, right?
Okay, now maybe we can't say this. If we cannot say it, we're gonna cut it.
Yeah, maybe we can, maybe we can't. We'll have the discussion post.
Yeah.
But me and Rambo are going to be working together again.
Yay! So where are you guys going?
So first of all, we're going to Montreal.
Montreal, okay, Canada.
In Canada, to the international headquarters of Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, what a dream!
And we're going to be creating a new show, Alizé, which is going to be a resident show in Berlin.
Great.
Which is super exciting for me because it's the only resident show in Europe.
Yeah.
And it's not too far away from home.
Yeah, it'll be
so it's
near
not
home.
too scary for me. I up until last year, I'd lived with my parents in the same bedroom my whole life. And and so like I'm getting further away, but
but step by step.
Step by step. And so I'm quite happy that like I can still drive there, you know, like my parents are going to come visit me when I get there and like bring my things for me in the car, you know, like it's chill.
Very home.
Yeah.
Feel
and
like home.
Bring my piano, like everything's good. So that's really exciting. And I'm going to be doing trampoline.
Great.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
When I got the email and it said, we're considering you as a trampoline artist, I'm like, have they got the wrong person? Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
And I actually rang my coach that had worked for Cirque du Soleil before, that was the one that got me into Disney.
Yep.
And I rang him and I was like, Gary, I just got this email. What do I do? And he's like, well, reply to them. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't do that. And yeah, I think in the show there's going to be some trampolining and some trampoline, which is probably why, like, you know, they've asked me.
They choose like the mix of.
Yeah, so we have a mix. And I think some of our cast just do trampoline. Some of our cast, I think I'm the only one that's actually just come from trampolining. I think other people have come from trampolining, but I think they've all done a bit more trampoline than I have.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. But we have a mix anyway, so yeah, and we're gonna have a great time. I'm that's so excited.
Great to hear. Yes. Estamos ya. 5 minutes. Okay. Any words that you want to, something you want to share? Any thought that something that you have thought through this entire athlete career to artist career?
I think the biggest thing that I have to remind myself of a lot of the time is that we do this because it's fun. Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, however much, if it's a job if you're competing or if it's a job if you're performing, like, at the end of the day we do this because we love it and because it's fun. And it's really easy to get caught up in the politics or, like, you know, the other stuff and the negativity and the getting down because, you know, you haven't done well in a competition or whatever. But actually at the end of the day, like, okay, if you don't win a competition like, really it doesn't matter. Like, you know, and at the end of the day, as long as you're healthy, like, it's fine. But it's really difficult to remember that and not to be too hard on yourself. Yeah. But I think that's what I've realized in the last year a lot, of taking a step back and looking back at my life being like, I jump on a trampoline for a living. Like, what?
Who else does that?
Yeah, like, I worked at Disneyland and, like, I got paid for it. Yeah. This is crazy. You know? So actually just to remind yourself, like, it's just fun and to enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, like, don't do it. Just do what's right for you and have fun with it. And then actually you perform better and you do better if you're enjoying it too. Yeah. And all the times I've done the best in competition have been when I've just been there to have fun, and not put the pressure on myself and, like, not had the expectation and just enjoyed myself. So
like in the zone.
Yeah, just vibing. You know? Just have a good time.
Great.
So, yeah.
So, entonces, queridos auditores y veedores de nuestro podcast, dejamos hasta aquí nuestra conversación con Luisa. Muy agradecido. I'm so thankful for you being here. And, bueno, hermano.
Bueno, hermano.
Eso. Así que esos chiquillos, gente, un abrazo muy grande. Seguir trabajando duro por sus objetivos. Ser feliz, ser buena persona. Y nos estamos viendo porque vamos a seguir grabando. Así que nos vemos. See ya.
I just want to say that Louise is an incredible friend and I love her very much. She's the best gringa Latina.
I'm transitioning.
British.
Yes.
I'm becoming Latina more and more every day, I promise.
She recommended me to the Mampato du Soleil.
I sent them an email because I was like, yo, I don't know if you need any more people, but you should hire Rambo because he's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm so excited to be working with you again.
You are the best, Luisa.
Te quiero mucho.
Te quiero mucho. Te quiero,
Cariño conmigo por toda la noche.
Así que teníamos un abrazo. Saludos a Tiago.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.